All right, let's go. So we're with Mr. Charles Williams, who lives in Upper Marlboro. He has graciously volunteered to be our first video testimonial. So what I want to do is just to ask Mr. Williams questions about the project and dealing with our company, and get his feedback, so that we can show future customers, what it's like to deal with our company. So, Mr. Williams, the first question that I would want to ask you is, how did you hear about our company? Do you remember who referred you to our company? Did one of your neighbors recommend you to us? How did you come across us?
Well, I first heard about Roof Masters on radio station WTOP. I can't remember the commentator's name, but he was real satisfied with the work that he had done and the follow-up work. And then he also mentioned that an animal had eaten through his roof, and someone came right out and put a tarp over it and took care of him. So I said, well, if a company will go that far to satisfy their customers, I said, that's somebody I want to deal with, because the last roofing company I had, they didn't explain things as well, did a quick job, and 4 years later I had leaks when my original roof wasn't leaking. And every year after that I had to go up there and re-caulk. So I wanted to get somebody that was professional and I wouldn't have trouble with.
Okay. And how would you describe the overall experience in dealing with our company?
The experience was far better than what I expected. Mr. Lemons came out, he explained things thoroughly, answered all our questions, and my wife has a lot of questions on things. And he came on time. He promised that he could get our roof put on. I had a deadline. I had to have it done before the 23rd, and because of some other obligations I had, and he delivered it. And it was a real nice job. The staff was friendly, and everybody knew their jobs, and it was amazing to me how well they worked together to get the job done.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. And when Scott, our estimator, our project consultant, came out the second time to meet with you to talk more in detail about the job, did you feel a lot of pressure to buy? Did you feel like he was trying to sell you a job, or did you feel more like he was just trying to educate you on what the right project looked like and help you make the right decision?
Oh, there was no pressure at all. He was very patient and thorough. He brought samples of material, different colors, and my wife was, I let her pick the colors she wanted. We decided, I'd let her, we let her do that, and she was pleased with all the examples. And then he had recommendations of what would go with our siding, and it was a very pleasant experience.
That's good. I appreciate that. Would you be willing to recommend our company in the future?
Oh, yes, I would. Another thing that surprised me was when he came out the second time, he had this book, and it had it's a notebook, and it had a picture of our home as it was then, and it had a lot of information on the products.
Yeah, that's our standard estimate. So let me just kind of get a close-up video of that. And what did you like about that estimate? Did you feel that our specification, the way that the job was prepared, adequately met your needs? Do you think that the scope of work was detailed properly?
Yes, I do. And the finished product, when the staff left, I went over and across the street and looked at the roof, and it just didn't look like a roof. It looked like a work of art the way it was laid out, and it was very
That
satisfying.
is very nice. The guys who install our roofs, our roof mechanics, would be very happy to hear that. So what else can you think what else do you think you can add? Is there anything else that you would tell any prospective customers? Is there any other question you think I should ask that you want to talk about?
Well, I'd just like to say I spent more than 20 years in the military, and whenever you had a big project, there were always things that would go wrong that you'd have to work around or get straightened out. But this experience surprised me. I didn't have any problems. They came on time. The product was good, and the work was beautiful. And if you don't want any hassles, I highly recommend Roof Masters. to get your roofing done.
Mr. Williams, I appreciate very much you being our first video testimonial. I mean, what you said was incredibly flattering, and that's the experience that we try and deliver to every customer. So I just want to thank you for being the first to do this, and I hope that your video will influence other people to call us and hopefully work with us too. I thank you for your time.
And thank you for coming out. I want everybody to have as pleasant an experience as I had.
All right, terrific.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to end it.